It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be better. I can't wait. Making my move. Live for the day. Sing like a bird. Fly like a plane. Come spill with me. Jenny D.
Hello, my beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me with another episode on Spill With Me, Jenny D podcast. I am just like a little kid today. I'm so excited to have my guest. But before I introduce my guest today, I would like to say thank you to my sponsors for September. The spotlight sponsors for September are Bare Skin and Laser. Jody Repepi is the owner. It's all about your skincare needs and everything like that. And then I also have Ed Mayer, who is the owner of Tri-State Furniture. Thank you, Ed. And I also have at Capacity, her name is Reyne O'Shannon. She is having an event in October, so she's going to be on my podcast in a couple of months. But thank you so much for being a part of Jenny D's journey and being a spotlight supporter for September. And I am just, and Tanya Cheney. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot. We just had her on. She talked about massages and she does this some somatic healing that Kim, my guest, might be knowing about as well. But I'm so excited to have my guest here. Kim, the Hapa healer, TikTok girl. Okay, she is blowing up. She is a beautiful person, beautiful soul. But like this month for September, I'm all about reset, refresh, recharge. Mm-hmm. But Kim and I were just talking about this off air. It's not just about your outer getting yourself reset. It's about your inner. Mm-hmm. So Kim is the perfect guest. Kim, introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers. Oh yeah. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I love it. So that is how I start my joke of the day because like Jenny said, it's about the inner work, right? And what's on the inside, the things that you can't see, your energy, your frequency, your thoughts, your emotions, all of the stuff that we hold inside. And, with all the garbage that's existing in the world today, what can I control? Right? What can I do to shift the energy in this world? I'm going to tell a corny ass joke every day. Every day I'm just going to tell a corny joke that makes people laugh because it's energy. So let's shift it the other way the best that we can,
So tell us, how did you get into this? Because here's the thing. Kim and I met a couple years ago. We'll get into that before. But Kim, tell us a little bit about you and why you're an intuitive practitioner.
Okay.
I love that.
I'm one of those people that goes off on multiple tangents. So I'm going to really try to keep this short and sweet, right?
You better get somebody here.
Yeah, right? I'm like, listen, when I go live on TikTok, one of my listeners the other day, I was telling a story. She types in the comment, she was like, Kim, what happened to the deer? And I was like, oh yes, that's right. She was reeling me back in. I'm like, reel me back in, Rachel, reel me back in. So it was hilarious. So yeah, I grew up with a South Korean mother who's from South Korea, a Mexican father who's from Mexico. So, two parents from two different countries, growing up in a third country. So you could just imagine the dynamic and some of the childhood trauma that came along with all of that. So, as I grew, my dad was in the military, so we lived in a lot of different cities. And when I came to Pittsburgh in the 6th grade, I was called a racial name that I had never heard before. I didn't even know what it meant. I had to ask my mom, so I did not want to come back here. I'm
so sorry.
Yeah, and then we moved to D.C. for 2 years, so I went to middle school in D.C., then we came back for high school, and I'm telling you, I fought. I begged to stay with this family that I babysat. I was like, I'll be their nanny. I just did not want to come back here.
I can understand.
Yeah, and I came back here, and I think, now that I have healed, I can say it without so much anger. And I was like, I hate it here. But again, I'm writing my story. I get to tell myself how things were and how it happened. And yes, there was a lot of anger. And my perception of high school and the things that happened to me were, girl,
Yeah.
like I made a glass of water a big old lake. Okay, I'll just be honest. And that's why I said authenticity, right? I'm going to be honest now about who I am.
I love that.
How I am.
And that's going to help somebody else, because somebody else out there could be going through what you have gone through.
Absolutely.
You know?
And because I went through all of that, and because I told myself these stories of you were bullied and everybody was mean to you and nobody likes you and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to make this anything political, but, you know, growing up being half Asian as well, you know, dating was hard because guys had intentions that were not, you know, good. So you add that whole layer. And so inevitably I became an alcoholic, and, you know, from the age of 16 to 42, really struggled with it on and off. I got married at 37. My husband is from Pittsburgh, so that's how I'm here now. A whole another story. So I'm not going to go off on that tangent. I'm going to stick to the story. So, you know, stopped drinking long enough to get pregnant, have 2 beautiful babies. And I think that's what the problem was, that I wasn't processing anything. I just kept pushing it down and pushing it down and pushing it down and pushing it down. And that physically manifested into kidney stones. Which I got married with them, and that was a whole crazy story. I got them removed after I got married. And then when my daughter was about 1, I relapsed really hard and was drinking and doing other fun stuff, and ended up at rehab at the age of 42. And it was right across the street from me. My guardian angels were like, "We're going to make it so easy for you, sunshine. It's right across the street."
Yeah, right. You don't have to go far.
Literally all I had to do was cross Green Tree Road. Everything went down on May 5th, like May 2nd. Another blessing, because I don't do well in winter. So it was like I started my healing journey like right as summer was coming. It was, so it was warm weather. I enjoyed rehab, you know. And what kept me not going to rehab? Fear, shame, guilt. I didn't want that on my resume.
Right. I know. Who's looking at our resume, right?
No one's rehab on their resume, you know, and it was that embarrassment, that shame. And that's what... And I went through my stages of anger. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, all these people that are suffering because they're ashamed, and why? Right. Why should we be ashamed of that? And there's so much stigma around.
It's a hurdle that has happened in your life. And, you know, and we make it like it's about us, and we're like, okay, we don't want anybody to know our secret. Yeah. Like we try to hide from that, you know, and that's why I'm so glad that you're here to share this story, because there are people out there listening going, oh my God, Kim, like you're real. Like this has happened to me.
Yeah. And you know, 42. And that's when they say a tiger can't change its stripes. No, this is who I am, because all of that, the alcoholism and all that stuff, that it's not going to leave me. It's in my memories. It's imprinted on my soul. Like, and I shouldn't be ashamed of it. And, you know, I got sober. And then what happened was, once I hit that year, I laugh about it and people are like I said, I keep it real. I was still angry. I'm still angry, you know, like.
So do you think the alcohol kind of like disguised, you know, the hurt that you had from like childhood trauma?
Yeah. Like I became fun girl.
It kind of made you numb. Yes.
Yeah. But then I also was angry girl and crying girl. And do you know what I mean? Like now I'm the bully girl. Oh my God. In my 20s, there are so many like strangers on the street that I said nasty things to, that if I could go back, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. You know, and even now things happen in life. And that's the thing. I apologize much quicker. I do it right away. I am so sorry.
Only human.
Was mean. Yeah. But the thing is too, like a lot of people won't say sorry.
Right.
My son did something in kindergarten. He had gotten bullied the first time he got bullied. And the next day he did something to another kid. I took him to CVS, the post office, Rite Aid. Well, it says, do you know there's no I'm sorry cards anywhere?
I didn't even know that.
Nobody says I'm sorry, so much so that there are no I'm sorry cards anywhere.
You're right about that. I never even thought.
I had to buy a blank card with a puppy that looked sad, and then made it a writing lesson as well. I said, okay, write in here, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Liam. Yeah. So we had a whole thing about that, right? And when I relapsed, and then, you know, that 1 year came, I was like, okay, why am I still angry? And then that is when Reiki came into my life. And, you know, for nobody that's heard of Reiki.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I have never done it, and I am dying to
Oh
try
my
it.
gosh. This is like, you've only gotten readings from me, but Reiki is like my main jam. And that's what I tell people. The tarot cards and oracles are my side gig, right?
Right.
Because the Reiki is, we have these energy centers that are in our body. It's the colors of the rainbows. It starts at the base of our spine. It runs through our body. We got one, what you've heard of, I know people have heard of the third eye, your intuition. That's that extra dark blue, and then that purple on top. Every emotion, thought, everything are tied to these chakras, these energy centers. And when I discovered these, and I was like, my root chakra, you're right. That ties us to our relationships, everything that makes us human. So if there's an imbalance there, homeless people, there's an imbalance there. They don't have any safe space. They don't even have a basic
space
shelter, which is,
Often.
So an imbalance there. The sacral chakra, that's orange. And that is like your sexuality, your confidence, your creativity, like that fire in your soul to like just go out there and get it. The yellow one is 2 inches above your belly button, and that's literally your happiness, your sunshine. Are you aligned with your life's purpose? I tell my clients, you want to know a great way to answer something if you're always stuck? Ask yourself, what is my intention in life? I want to be happy. Okay. Somebody's asking you something. Is it a yes or is it a no? Ask yourself.
Are you happy? Yeah.
Is this, no, so let's say somebody says, help me move.
Yeah.
Or do you want this job? That's like a choice, right? And you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Ask yourself, is saying yes to this helping you create what you're setting your intentions for?
Ooh.
Then it's a yes. If you say, if it's a no, like if you say yes, but it's only creating something for this person, where's the energy exchange? Like, why are you doing this? Ask yourself, is this helping you create your intention? Because sometimes we'll do things that we don't want to do. And what you're doing is you're
preaching to the choir over here.
You're not
never say no.
It's not being selfish. Do you know, we pour so much out to other people, which is what I did.
The guilt.
And that's why I said, what did I say in the beginning? The main thing is releasing guilt, fear, shame, and being authentic.
Yes.
Listen, you either hate me or you love me. The ones that hate me, let me tell you why I don't give an F. Because
I love you.
We are not on the same vibration. We are not a tribe. Your perception of things does not match my perception. That's why the way I speak, the things that when I stick up for, I say a lot about bullies. I tell people, my good stuff is, you want my garbage? Follow me on Facebook, because that's that's where I keep my garbage. On my TikTok, I keep it happy. It's all intentional, right? But I stay authentic no matter where I'm at.
You have to, because if you're gonna go on social media and you're gonna talk about things, if you're not real about who you are, people can see right through that.
Yep.
Now let's go back to the Reiki.
Reiki.
So when you said it was a year, you were still kind of like suffering, you just like, why am I still mad? So how did Reiki help you?
So I want to finish too real quick.
Go
so
with
the heart. So the heart is the green, and that's your heart chakra. And what most people like us, we have no problem extending love. We have a problem receiving it. And that comes from different things. I was bullied. I was abandoned. I was, whatever. Like, it comes from our childhood trauma.
Receiving love, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, as a Reiki practitioner, listen, narcissists aren't coming to me. Most of the people that come to me are the ones that need to learn how to give themselves love. Your throat chakra is how you speak, and people have no idea how powerful your words are. I will never say I'm sick. I will say I am healing. I will never say I'm tired. I will say, I've exhausted a lot of my energy and I think I need to go rest. My body is going to respond to what I am telling it.
It's
your
listening
throat,
to you.
spelling, it spells, right?
Right.
Your intuition, this is trusting your choices, knowing, I'm going to go left, and I know why I'm going to go left. A lot of times we make choices out of fear. Oh my God, but that job makes more money, and I don't want to not have money. I don't want to be. It's all fear. But the other one, the other job makes you happy. And 5 years from now, you're probably going to be making more money because you're more productive, because you're happy.
Yes.
But 5 years from now, you took the job that made you miserable. You're still miserable and you're still making the same amount of money. Was that a good choice?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And the last one is the crown, that purple one. That's what connects you to your higher source. You could be an atheist as long as you're not, there is a higher power. You could believe in trees.
Right.
Like whatever, but there is, this universe apparently has been around for 13.8 billion years.
Oh my gosh, that's a fun fact.
Yeah, 13.8 billion years. And in that time that the universe has been here, we just keep expanding and we just keep growing, So I believe in reincarnation. Like all of the things that I'm doing now are going to set me up for success for my next life,
Right.
And
so when you got into that and you learned about all the different chakras and colors and stuff, how did that help you through your healing process?
That's when I became happier, because I realized everything comes down to me. People don't make me angry. I make the choice to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
People don't hurt my feelings. I make the choice to have my feelings hurt.
Right.
People don't bully you. I have an imbalanced sacral chakra that's not allowing me to stand up for myself, and therefore I feel powerless. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's these choices that we have these.
So we have the power, but we don't use our power.
We don't use it.
Right.
And that definition of insanity. Like, people be like, why do I keep dating the wrong guy?
Yes.
Why do I keep experiencing the same thing over and over? It's because you keep making the same choices. And the universe keeps giving you opportunities to make a different choice, but you're not doing that. And that is why these experiences are repeating.
Right.
You get to decide, I'm going to go left this time. My husband, listen, ladies, and we all know this, I'm 48. So let's talk out. Like I said, I'll keep it real. I made him wait.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, I can't be doing what I've been doing. I'm gonna have to make him wait.
Yeah.
Married. Like I said, no, I have to know that he really wants to be with me.
Right.
And he proved it. And here we are 11 years later, happily married.
And I see that. And it's like, and I think that like for people to see like what you've been through, like, you had your struggles. And, sometimes when they do see you on TikTok or any kind of social media, they're like, oh, Kim's got the greatest life or this and that. But they don't see that everybody has come from somewhere.
Yeah.
We've all had, people may not, anytime I run into, I had a perfect childhood and I had a perfect life and I have a perfect husband. And I'm like, okay, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're real.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. It was so funny because before we came on, we were talking about my name came up in a conversation and the other person was like, oh, Kim's always talking shit about people. And that made me laugh because I don't care. Like, I'm not. The thing is, I'm being authentic.
Right.
And I express that I'm upset about something. Somebody hurt my child. And I express it. And I express it because, and I don't just say, oh, these people are. I come with an intention. I'm saying, guys, can we talk to our children and tell them, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that?
Right.
Hey, don't snatch things out of children's hands. Hey, that child's mom has already called me and told me that you've been mean to him. So why don't you just stay away from him? Why is it my responsibility to tell my child to, this whole old program is just stay away from the bullies, okay? They do. Do you know any kid that's putting themselves in front of the bully? Like, look at me.
No, the bully's finding them.
They're not.
I'm following them.
They're not. No, right. And nobody talks about that because other people perceive it as I'm talking shit about other people. Well, you know what? You have the same perception as the aggressor. Mm-hmm. And that's why you're hearing my words on a different radio frequency than other people who are hearing what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? You're listening to country music and I'm talking hip hop,
you're
brother.
Getting called out. I mean, you don't want to get called out, then don't be so rude. Don't be so disrespectful.
And that is my whole point.
Yeah.
I'm not talking shit about people. My whole point is stop being jerks.
Right.
Let's be kind.
And once you put it out there and they see that, then they're even more scared. Like, oh crap, she's going to say my name and then everybody's going to know I'm the bully.
Oh my gosh. They worry
about themselves.
I went live.
All about themselves.
I went live on my Facebook when this kid that kept coming after my kid, and we had been all good. And let me tell you why we had been all good. Can I say witchy stuff? I'm going to talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's
that's
something.
The other thing we're going to talk about, all the spiritual things that,
If someone in your life is being aggressive towards you, a coworker, a sibling, a parent, a child at school, this is a little spiritual tip. You write their name down on a piece of paper, because here's the thing what people misconceive. Like, I like to call myself a witch, and they equate it with evil. And I'm like, I'm the opposite of that. I understand how energy works, so I would never put evil out there.
Right.
Because that's going to come back to me.
Right. Didn't they ever hear the Good Witch on Wizard of Oz?
I'm Linda. Hello. I even wear pink. Hello.
She's
right?
Hip girl today.
Yes. And you just write their name on a piece of paper. You put in a nice little, Tupperware container, whatever you got, and you put it in water and you shut it and you put it in your freezer, and you're just telling them to chill out. Please chill out
so cool.
and stay out of my space.
I'm going to try that.
We had done that. My daughter the week before was like, Mommy, those kids have really been leaving Liam alone. Let's take their names out of the freezer. And I'm like, you know what, Luna, you're right. It's time to move on and let's be. The next day, the kid did that to me. The next day. Okay. So it made me chuckle. And I went live on Facebook and I talked about it. The people went to Green Tree Pool.
I remember you at the pool.
And they had me remove it. The lifeguard, who's my neighbor, was like, please remove it because I could get fired. They threatened her job, a teenager. And I said, wow. And I was
You're in a public place.
I'm in a public.
You can do whatever you want. But see, now we're turning into this world.
But do you see how they are? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
they're afraid of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
When
and it doesn't bother me at all. And it's so funny because and people too, they can send me hate and evil eye all they want. And that's why I teach a lot of my clients too, because when people don't know how to protect their energy, that's why you come home exhausted. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, I know my name comes out of people's mouths and it's not always followed by something kind. But again, my bubble, my boundary is, that's none of my business.
Yeah.
When I look in the mirror, I'm like, look at you, sunshine. You are sober. Right. You are thriving. Your husband loves you. Your kids think you're magical.
Your parents.
You have a great Yes.
We have to think about the good that we have in our lives.
Always. Every time I'm doing laundry, I'm like, at least you got clothes, girl.
Yes. Seriously. Well, there's times where, Kim, don't you realize, we've never done, I preach it, but I don't do it, is ever say to yourself, wait, why am I upset? I should be happy for the blessings that I do have in my life. The blessings that are, my blessing today is to have this beautiful woman, strong woman here who has come from something, and look at her. She has blossomed. But not only has she's, what she's doing, but I met Kim probably a couple years ago, right when I started my podcast.
Yeah.
And we were at Teetotal's.
Teetotal's, which I wanted to talk about too, because I will be there doing free Reiki for breast cancer survivors.
Oh my gosh. Because I'm doing that walk. I know you did that.
And I did a reading for your friend. And that is why you brought Lexi back. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Your friend was there. She's also a recovering,
Yeah.
And I had done I was there doing free readings that day.
She was. And it was so magical. And when Kim and I sat down and she had the cards there, and I'll never forget, she said to me, I see apples. She said, I see money, because I was like, should I do this? Is this going to just, fall into the floor, not even be anything, and be doing a podcast? You'd think people are even going to listen, and here we are, almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in January.
Yeah.
And I am finally, I feel like people, they really like me.
They do.
Sally Fields. They really like me.
They do.
But I feel like that they believe in me.
It's the energy that you have put out.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You're authentic. And that's what I said. And for me to remain authentic, I got to be honest too. I'm not always nice.
Yeah.
I talk about bullies and them being mean. I'm mean too. I know I have my moments, but like I said, I quickly apologize. I put myself in check. When somebody makes me angry, instead of, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, okay, why am I angry?
Let it go.
When you see me go live on Facebook and lash out at that makes me laugh, because guess who went live on Facebook? That 12-year-old girl inside of me.
Yes.
I'm 48-year-old Kim, but guess what? That 12-year-old little girl, she's still right there, and she will go live.
Right.
and slice you in your jugular. That's what she likes to do. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and be fake and be like, I am so healed. And I don't do things like that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Us.
Yes.
Like, I feel like our childhood, like things that have happened to us can trigger us at any moment. But for you to realize after the fact of like, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the right thing. Or maybe, it's my it's the healing still process of it. Like, I shouldn't be lashing.
Yeah.
But it's hard sometimes.
It is. And, I was just telling you, like, I just felt this month, like the cloud lifted off of me. And I was like, I'm not mad no, like, it's so wild. Like, I cannot explain it. Like, now when my son, he came home and he mentioned one of the kids, and I did not put their names back in the freezer.
Yeah.
Because how is healing and growth going to happen if I'm just pushing it away?
Don't shove it. You're right.
So I was so glad that my little Luna was like, let's take their names out. And then what happened? We had an experience. We were given an opportunity to react in a different way.
Yeah.
Did I react in a different way? Hell no. I went live on Facebook. But I took it off, right? And I realized it. And now he came home the other day and mentioned one of their kids, and I looked at him and I was like, who cares? Let it go. You are letting these people live. Now we're getting to a point where they're living rent-free in your head.
Yes.
Stop it.
Right.
You are not powerless.
You control.
You are confident.
Yes.
You are letting these people bother you. Stop it. Enough. Because that's where I'm at now,
It's
too.
so true.
I'm not going to let him
move on.
Like you said, there's no victims. And if I continue to let him feel like he's a victim and these kids are victimizing him, I'm not doing him any favors. Exactly. So now it's been like, no, we're turning this around.
And the more that, like, because I always believe hurt people,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that the more that they do it, the more that he doesn't care about it, then they're not going to want to do it.
Exactly.
Because they're getting a reaction. Like, that's like, I feel like even at our age, Kim, like, I feel like there are people out there that are bullies to, women of our age, and it's usually other women. And, and
insane.
I'm with you. I'm at that point now. I don't know if it's because I'm 53 and I'm just like, I just don't care. I don't care what people think. I used to worry so much about, what are they going to think about me? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't care. I'll go on without makeup on, just wake up in the morning. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I used to be like, I have to be all up done and this and that.
Yeah.
Our lives have shifted.
Our lives have definitely shifted.
But we need to tell our younger self.
That we're safe now. Do you know what I mean? My parents didn't know how to help me navigate through that. So I made up stories in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like, my parents weren't telling me, empower yourself. So I noticed myself, like, because of my childhood trauma, now instilling this fear, or like somehow he's less than, right? Yeah. Like, well, let's freeze their names, or no. I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to stand up. You're not going to, face it. Do you know what I mean? We're done. You are not powerless. And I said, heal yourself so that your children don't have to heal from you.
Yeah.
And also
I love that.
Also know and give yourself grace, knowing that your children picked you. There are billions of souls that are here on earth. They chose you.
Yes.
So I said, I am not a very good cook. I am a little concerned again, because I have to be honest with myself. My daughter's nutrition, it needs to get better. My husband was remodeling our kitchen, so I got lazy. I was working 2 jobs. I don't create meals. I'm lazy. Chicken nuggets and rice, they're good. Do you know what I mean? She's getting to a point, and I have to be honest about like her nutrition and how we're going to do that. And
because what we put in our body too can make us feel a certain way, like sluggish, tired, mad. It's true.
Yeah. So that's why. So
I feel like I'm just learning this now.
Yeah. And working on that. And it's just knowing that they knew, okay, she's not going to be a very good cook, but she's going to be funny as heck. Do you know what I mean?
They wanted the qualities.
Yes. Like, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, be honest about where you need to work on your weaknesses. And it's not even a weakness. It's just a vibration. And that's why I said words,
I love that. It's a
words
vibration.
Are so important. Do you know what I mean? So no, I'm not. It's just a vibration. It's a frequency, and we can raise it at any point. We can choose to raise so I do want to be a better cook. I'm like, today I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this chicken and I can make the choice. This is my intention. My daughter needs more nutrition. So these are the choices that I have to make.
Right.
I have to make these choices, you know?
Shift in our lives. Now, thank you so much for sharing, everything about like what has gone through and everything. But what you're doing now and how you're healing people. And she's got all her, I'll take a picture. She's got all her,
Bubbles.
what do you call those?
So these, I know a lot of people might say these are pendulums, but I call these believers. The woman that created these called them believers. Yeah, so they're all crystals. Yeah, so they each hold a different type of energy. So depending on what the client is going through, that's how I use different ones. And they're all wrapped with this, property, like most of them are wrapped in copper. This one was silver because copper is a very protecting energy. Fun fact, if you own a home, you should go to like Home Depot, Lowe's, or Penny's if you don't want to go buy anything, but get some copper. And I say do like 3 copper balls or 3 pieces of copper or 3 pennies and bury them in the 4 corners of your property. And your whole house, you're creating a grid and your whole house will be protected. So if somebody who like doesn't like you, but they can't be authentic,
they can't come through my coffee.
So they come to your house, right? You'll notice they'll come to your house and they'll all of a sudden like, I gotta go home. I got diarrhea. Oh, you don't say. Your belly hurting. Okay, I'm dead serious, right? It's like, oh.
I love that though.
Okay,
so get copper.
Yeah, so these are, wrapped in copper. It's a very protective energy. If you go to Dick's, they sell things have copper elbow things, copper, it's healing.
Ooh,
yes, it's literally in,
yeah. They sold like copper mugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if you go to Dick's, you'll see in there where they sell arm wraps and knee things, there's copper in them.
So copper's like a healing.
Copper's very good for healing.
Okay.
Grounding, it grounds you.
Okay, yeah. What is that?
So grounding is just so this one is black obsidian, and this one she made for me specifically. The tip is broken, and I'll never forget it. She sent this to me and was like, "These are for the addicts and the alcoholics that you work with because they think they're broken, but they're not." So this black obsidian protects energy. So I literally go counterclockwise and look at her moving on all of their chakras, and I remove it. You don't have to be ashamed.
See?
You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to be scared to be awesome.
Look at
You're
that.
not who you are. Yes. And I just remove that. And then, if somebody needs to pull sunshine in their lives, I'll use my yellow one, this beautiful yellow one.
I love that.
And put energy into her. You know what I mean? If somebody is not speaking up, a lot of women, no, that's a lie. Men too. But I just have more women clients. You know what I mean? But
that's what you see. Look at that blue.
This blue. And this is to balance out your throat chakra. Speak up. So many people. I go to I went to my children's school. I talk to children in offices.
Yes.
To meditate. I'm a meditation coach. One of the other hats I wear.
I know you wear so many hats.
Yeah. And I go live on Zoom and TikTok, and I do like affirmations and journals. So if you have been wanting to meditate, I go live on TikTok at 6 a.m. It's at the butt crack of dawn because that's how we start our day.
Yes.
If you subscribe to my TikTok account, you also get journal prompts and affirmations that go along with that day's meditation.
I love that.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, Aloma Healing.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say,
I have over 400 meditations on there. And it's literally like, it's funny because after the meditations in the beginning, we would talk a lot about our experiences. How did this meditation? So it's literally like my diary as well, because I've talked a lot about my personal stuff, and some of the videos, like it started in 2022. So
really?
Yeah, so I got a lot of
videos,
like
400 of
over 400 meditations that you guys can go on. Yeah, and go look at. And so, I was telling the kids, like, you have to like speak positive about yourself, and be honest. If I offer you a pepperoni pizza and you don't like pepperoni, do not feel bad about hurting my feelings and say to me, Mrs. Early, no, thank you. I don't like pepperoni pizza. I only like cheese pizza. And I'll be like, okay, no problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, thank you for speak up. I'm like, guys, and if I get mad, if Mrs. Early gets mad and offended that you don't like pepperoni pizza, I want you to understand something. And these are first graders and second. I'm like, that is not you. That is Mrs. Early's problem.
Yes.
Mrs. Early, you know what I mean, is upset and it has nothing to do.
She takes it personally.
She's taking it personally. And don't ever hold back your truth or make yourself uncomfortable.
Yes.
To make someone else comfortable.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Ever.
Don't ever make yourself
uncomfortable to make someone else comfortable.
I heard a woman say yesterday, She said that she used to shrink herself where she would go because, she didn't think that she was smart enough. And I used to shrink myself.
Yeah.
Never thought I was educated enough to be in a room full of women that are lawyers and doctors or whatever. And now I'm like,
vibration.
but I'm like, wait, I have my own strengths. So then you don't shrink yourself. Become who you are.
You were
Don't
never
make
meant to
yourself
be small.
No.
And that's why you didn't feel comfortable.
No. I know.
Yeah. And now you're like, and the reason it took time too is because you were figuring out who the authenticity, you know what I mean? Because you were like, I'm going to give myself this gift.
Yeah.
And that
took so long.
That's that yellow, that solar plexus. I have this idea, and I think this idea is going to make me happy. And it has made you happy.
Oh my gosh.
And you have grown. And you know so many amazing people.
I've learned so much.
I had an interview, not an interview, but I'm doing on another podcast, which let me thank you. You want to talk about gratitude? Fun fact, you are the first non-metaphysical podcast that I've been on.
Really?
You are the first to give me a platform to speak about this stuff.
You are
That's not
powerful woman who is
specifically for people who are just into this, so
we all bring some different tools to, the platform. And mine's all about giving a platform for people to speak about who they are and what they do.
Yeah.
And and what you've said and like coming clean with what exactly you went through is really, that's what I want people to listen and say, oh my God, she helped me. Because I know there's somebody out there listening. But so tell us a little bit more about like your stones. Like what are they?
So, each, like I said, so if you have a Reiki session, I use these to remove stuff on the chakras. And then I do things very intuitively. So there are many different forms of Reiki. I mean, there's animal Reiki, rainbow Reiki, Asui Reiki. So I tell everybody, go with who you vibe with. You know what I mean? Like I had a lady, I was live on TikTok. She had lost both of her parents. And I could feel the heaviness on her. And how she came on, it's a long story, but I knew her parents did it. Like she just appeared on my live, and you have to either ask and I have to accept it. I didn't hit anything. She just appeared. And then she disappeared. I was like, well, now I got to bring you on. Her parents had just passed about a year ago. She's holding on to that grief so much. I still have both my parents. I don't know how to empathize for you.
Right.
I could easily say, oh yes, come get a Reiki session with me. I'm going to remove all of that grief and that pain. And instead, I said, you need to go to a grief counselor. You need to go to a therapist.
Someone who specializes.
You know what I mean? If you ever meet a Reiki practitioner or somebody or a psychic or a medium who just acts like they fucking know everything, run. Yeah. Because the ones that are authentic and real will tell you, I know enough to know I don't know shit.
At least you can, because it's like, they'll just take your money.
Yep, and I won't do it.
And then you think, oh, but, well, I guess they know what they're talking about because they said they know what they're talking about.
Nope. I had another client that I had been working with, and this girl was so full of ego.
Yeah.
And I had been working with her for about 6 months, and I hear End of the Road from Boys to Men playing. And my guides were like, you're not helping her, and you're not a thief. So let her know you cannot work with her anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I said that to her. I was like, I think this is the end of the road for us. I go, I am not helping you shift.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you shift your mindset, but she still kept blaming her parents for everything. 6 months, I can't do anything.
No.
You have to make the choice. I'm just a messenger. That's what I tell people. I'm just a messenger.
Yeah.
So these crystals help me see what is blocked, what is unblocked. And then another gift that I have is that when I'm sitting there in the Reiki, I see, oh, you don't speak up because you had a boyfriend that was very abusive to you, and he would yell at you and tell you that you were dumb, and that's why you don't speak up. And they'll be like, so I don't say any of this during the session because I'm talking to your higher self. So I just go and I do my thing and I'm quiet. And then after the session is when, you come out of the space.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'm
so
like,
fast.
I'm like, your heart is blocked because you're not allowing stuff to come in. Like, why not you? You know why? You know why things aren't happening? Because every time you're like, I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. And then every time you don't win, you think good things don't happen to you. The way I do it is I'm like, 1.1 billion. All right. angels, ancestors, powers that be, God, Buddha, Allah, whoever, everybody up there, if it's meant to be, drop it in my lap. If it's not, then I'm not meant to have it. So then when I don't win, I'm not like, well, I wasn't meant to have it.
Right. You're like,
I don't think my luck is bad.
Why me? That's people always say,
and
why me?
I tell people anything that is meant for you will not pass you by. It is you. You're not clear on your intention.
Yes.
Your actions aren't matching what you want. You're saying you want peace in your life, but you keep saying yes to everyone else instead of you. You keep saying you don't want to be, bullied, but you're not standing up for yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all of these things. And that's why, I think standing up for my son, I've established that. Now let's shift into that higher frequency of we're not going to let them bother us anymore.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I think that little girl in me has gotten it all out.
Yes. And what? It doesn't matter how long it takes somebody.
It doesn't.
If it finally lifts from you, and yes, it may come out at certain times, but for us to feel that, okay, aha moment. You know what I'm saying?
And you have plenty of aha. I had multiple awakenings. People like, when did you have your awakening? I was like, which one? The one I was 19? The one I was 27? The one when I was 42? That was the rough one. That was when I ended up in rehab. Which one do you want to talk about? Like, which one? So crystals I use for that. And then also I'll place crystals on the chakras. This little doodah, this little feather thing, I use this for house clearings. Spirits are everywhere. When I just did a ghost busting last Wednesday, this lady.
That's so interesting.
Yeah,
Halloween coming up too.
Yes. Oh my God. Listen, October. Listen, I went on Wednesday. It's already done. You said I was scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, because that's when they know you're scared.
Ooh.
You cannot go in. I don't go in with any fear at all. And I also let them know, and you're not coming home with me either. Do you know what I mean? So
you bring the feather with you?
So I use this for the sage too, because I sage the space and I remove. People fight. People say things. All that stuff is stuck on your walls.
Oh my gosh. It's like a feather duster.
Yeah, when my husband ripped out our kitchen walls and ripped out all of the cabinets, and I made a video about it. I literally went with 409 and cleaned it, and I cleaned up all the walls. And as I was doing it, I was going counterclockwise. My parents got divorced in that house. We bought the house from my dad. Yeah. The couple before them got divorced. That's why we bought their house. I don't know about the couple before them, but I was like, let me tell you what we're not going to do. Him and I are not going to get divorced. So I went and literally went counterclockwise and cleaned all the walls in the kitchen. And I was like, we are starting fresh. We are starting new. This house is filled with love. This house is not filled with resentments. This house is not filled with cheating. House is not filled with anger. Yeah. This house is not filled with ego. And then I went back clockwise and I filled it up. This house is filled with love. This house is filled with understanding. This house is filled with, and I filled that space up and I cleared out that energy. So I
love that, Kim.
Yeah. So I do house clearings. But interesting enough, when the lady called me to let me know a spirit was bothering her, I love when people call me like, Kim, my house is haunted. And I'm like, is stuff moving? Is stuff missing? And they're like, no. And I'm like, then why do you think it's haunted? They're like, because I just feel stuff. I'm like, spirits are everywhere. I hate to I'm not trying to scare you.
Right.
But they're literally everywhere. We just can't see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally right now, there's people walking. I mean, there's a lady right there.
Yeah, there's people in this room right now.
Literally.
Hi.
Mm-hmm. Hi, guys. You know what I mean? Exactly. Literally. So house clearings. And interesting enough, this lady, she was having issues, banging on the side of her house, her kitchen. She was by herself. Kitchen drawers moving.
Oh.
So I'm pulling cards while I'm talking to her, and I'm like, let me ask you, you said this started 2 years ago? And she's like, yeah. And I go, would you say 2 years ago your energy has shifted? Did you become angrier, a little bit more resentful? And she was like, yes. She was like, I'm sick of taking care of my kids. She's in her 70s. She's like, when do I get to enjoy my life? When do I get to start taking care of myself? And I was like, sunshine, now. You're a grown-ass adult. Whose permission are you waiting for?
Yes.
Right now. Right now. You can start right now.
Yeah.
And I go, that's why the spirit's bothering you, because your frequency has lowered and allowed that to come into your space.
Oh my God.
It's
almost like the spirits are bullying her into you need to get your life back.
Listen, we need
Stop worrying about what they're doing.
So the lady that I was talking to today about the other podcast that I'm going to be on, there was two things but she even said to me, I was talking about our life. She's like, where's the ethics committee up there? Who's talking to these spirits? And I was cracking up. She's like, where's the HR? I'm like, yeah, exactly. Sir, you be in her house banging her kitchen drawers, please. Respect, But yeah, literally, there's no ethics up there, So I first cleaned her, cleared off her energy. Then I cleared the house. That's another thing that I do. And, I hate to use this term ADHD, but I am absolutely neurodivergent. I'm weird. I don't think the way other people think,
Somebody
so.
told me I had adult AD.
Oh, yeah, I believe it because you're a creator.
Yeah.
You create that.
I mean, at first I was offended. I was like, oh my gosh, she's saying that I don't keep track of like what I'm saying, like
I'm
on a
like,
tangent or
this
what?
is my superpower. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is I can do 5 million things, and at the end of the day, I'm not exhausted. People do two things I do. Two things I would do in one day. I know, exactly. And that's why I tell people too, I'm not medicated. I was like, listen, I'm raw dogging life over here. All right, just raw dogging all of this. But the lady that I was talking to, she knew who you were. That's why when you said like, oh, I'm not a doctor or lawyer, but you have your gifts. Yeah. I was like, oh, I gotta go, guys. I have to drive to Peters. I'm gonna be on another podcast today. And they're like, who? And they're local also. And I was like, Spill with me, Jenny Dean. They both were like, oh my God, we know her. So you're definitely like, people know who you are.
Oh,
like you are a Pittsburgh girl and your love for Pittsburgh. And you want to talk about ego. We just talked about my Instagram growing.
Yes.
Right? I got like 44,000 people on TikTok.
Yes.
I stopped making videos for 2 years because I got tired. I was like, I'm done.
And then they expect that they want to see.
Yeah, and I didn't care. And guess what? My numbers stayed the same.
Right.
I'm like, I don't care. I'm exhausted. I'm done editing. Didn't do it.
Right.
All of that came about, but my Instagram, I asked one of my clients, she's a young girl, she's an influencer. She's got a lot of people on Instagram, not so much on TikTok, but a lot on Instagram. She's getting these brand deals, right? We want to make money. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, you know what you're not doing? You don't put Pittsburgh anything on your Instagram. You don't put hashtag Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh healer, and, tarot readers of Pittsburgh. And I'm like, I don't, because of my mindset.
You're right, because you're still
I don't like Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I got called racial name. And do you see how your ego and your mindset and how you think of things, and it's hurting me?
I never put Pittsburgh either.
I want to grow my social media because I do want to reach more people, and I'm going to be fucking honest. Oh, can I say that?
Yeah.
Bleep it out. I want to make money. You know what I mean? I want to be able to put my son in this expensive soccer camp, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, but that doesn't mean that I can't make 6 figures like them.
I know. And I feel too, like, my husband's always been I hate that word, breadwinner, and I was always like, oh man, I would love to eventually have so I'm not asking, hey, can I have $20? Hey, can I buy this? Hey, I don't want to ask anymore. I want to say, you know what, Jen? You can buy that dress. You can buy those new shoes because somebody believes in you and somebody wants you to be on their brand. And that to me, like, hey girl, let's do it together.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Are you guys listening? We love Pittsburgh. Yes. But that's the thing too. We have to say it. We have to say it. I want it. And I literally said, I was like, guys, I was talking to my guides. I talked to the sky a lot. Where's my brand deals? And then all of a sudden, Elena, and I was like, let me ask her. And she was like, and I was like, you're right. And then the second I started doing that, what did I tell you? I was like, daily, I've been getting more followers, more people watching my videos, more people commenting, because I'm like, I am in Pittsburgh. My children have been born here. My husband is born and raised here. Right. And whether I like it or not, I have roots here.
Oh, yeah.
And I kept cutting the roots. I was like, nope. Yeah. I've been begging my husband to get me out of here, but now I'm like, no.
This is your home now.
This is my home.
And when you accept it and you let it be your home, like my podcast is nationwide. I put a lot of emphasis in, a lot of my guests are from Pittsburgh because I do love my town.
You do.
I have like such great.
And they love you.
Upbringing here because, I just, and the whole thing about people, I just love meeting people and just getting to know them and finding out, like, Kim is so fascinating and she's got so many aspects about her that people don't see and people don't know. They don't know that you are trying to multitask, do this and do that and be a wife and be a mom.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, you need to be on a pedestal. You need to be on a platform. You need people to know all the good you're doing in life,
And that's the thing too, like, I don't, and it's like, why do I want those things? Like, why do I want a platform? Why do I want followers? Here's my intentions. I want to make money. to provide for my family. I'm not going to lie about it.
Right.
I want money to help people. Like you said,
Yes.
I help a lot of the homeless people. I go to the actual encampments. I don't want to start a GoFundMe. I want to have enough money in my bank account. But then here's the thing too, because of how I was raised. Oh, I can start a nonprofit. I don't have to use my own money, right?
Yeah.
So learning things about that, but it takes money. But it also, without money, that's the programming too, guys. Don't think, oh, because I don't have money, I can't do things. That's a bull story as well. Do you know what I mean? Anything where there's a will, there is a way.
Right.
Period.
But do you feel like sometimes too, like if a brand or somebody, it's validation as a woman, as a business owner, like you're an entrepreneur, and I sometimes people will say, Jen, you're an influencer. I'm like, no, I'm not. I downplay myself so much because I don't see myself like that. I'm just like, I'm just putting a platform out here.
Yeah.
But I feel like, wait a minute, maybe I am. Because that's why I partnered with St. Clair Health is because 5 or 6 women heard my podcast about breast cancer because I shared my story that I had a mass, but it became benign. That 5 or 6 women went to St. Clair to get a mammogram because they heard it from my podcast.
That's amazing.
That's what you're doing
too.
Said,
even if it's just one. And that's why I said too. That's why when I needed a break from TikTok, I didn't care. I was like, I don't care. I'm like, if I can't show up, because then what am I going to just make bullshit videos?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, and people do.
What's my purpose? They do. And I was like, no, what's my intention? What am I trying to do? And again,
our purpose.
TikTok, if you go on my TikTok right now, you'll see a lot of my videos aren't getting a lot of views. They like, I don't know what they do with the algorithm.
Yeah.
But I sit here, and even though like I'll mention it every now and then, but I also, because I believe in energy, I'm like, those 120 people are the 120 people that need to see it.
Yeah.
That's it. Something is happening. And I trust and that's the thing too, guys.
Trust the universe.
Trust the universe. Religious people call it having faith. Whatever. It's literally, and that's why I tell people, I don't ever feel like I'm losing out on anything or something is going missing or anything like that, And going back to the ADHD, I was saying, like, I love it because some days I'm doing Reiki. Some days I'm doing a mediumship reading because I do that also, people that want to
talk to
their husbands or talk to their sister or talk to, and like things that come through, or I could be doing Reiki, or I could be doing
the sound
bowls. I do a meditation class at Amara. So if you guys want to find me, Amara Studios in Brookline, every Friday morning at 10 a.m., I do a meditation class there. So you get me live. Yeah. Todd Tattoos here in Canonsburg. I'm going to be there the first Wednesday of every month to give free Reiki to breast cancer survivors and people going through treatment. So reach out to her, reach out to me.
You were so like,
we'll get you scheduled.
Like that, Kim.
And that's why, and people are like, oh, if you're going to do good things, don't talk about it. I was like, yeah, but talking about it gets you more money, gets you.
People out there know that, okay, wait a minute, I'm going through it. I can show up there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing it to be like, look at me, all the good I'm doing, like, pat myself on the back. You're doing it to give people awareness and information to say, hey, look, this is what's happening.
Yeah. And I'm not shy. Like,
no.
What
you see is what you get.
Yeah, and I made sure that I was going to be a person that was going to speak up for the underdogs. That was going to and I tell people, I didn't go through all that just for me either. Like, I know that I went through all that to help others because so many people have been through what I've been through and they will never speak about it. And that's okay too.
Right. It's your path. It's your destiny.
You don't have to. You know what I mean? I'll do it.
I know. That's why we're here. That's why we are here. And, I'm so glad we found each other because, every time I see her on TikTok, I'm just like, your eyes and your presence about you just make people feel like you're their best friend.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Kim. I just feel like what you're doing and helping so many people and being real and authentic and talking about the whole thing with bullies and stuff like that because it still is going on.
Yeah.
But before we end our podcast, can you do something for me, so that we can kind of do a little bit of a reading?
Yes.
Not a reading. What do you call this?
So I'm going to do a reading. So what I like to do is, I'm going to just sit and see what comes through because that's what. So do you have a specific question? Because if you don't, I'm going to see what they want you to know.
My question is, why can't I say no to people?
Okay.
And things. Why do I always feel guilty about saying no?
Well, I could answer that, but let me see what they say. Okay, I can answer that, but okay. Here's the thing. You're already aware of this, But when it comes to like an overlay of abandonment and stuff like that, that's because if you say no, they won't like you, or you're going to somehow disappoint someone. Now, let me ask you, is your mom the same way?
A little bit. She does put some guilt on herself as well. Yeah, she does.
Has she gotten better though?
Yes. Yes.
Because I'm seeing that it's coming from energetically from her. Do you know what I mean? Like seeing like how things panned out. Because when you're little, you're observing. And whether you know it or not, that programming is going right into your subconscious.
Because she tried to do everything because she was a single mom.
Yeah, but
I saw her struggling, trying to put herself through school, nursing school and everything like that. So I think she puts a lot of pressure on herself too.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like that's the root chakra, right? And that's also tied to money, right? And having your own and feeling safe. So you're still creating that. Like, I can do this and I'm okay to get this. And that's that root chakra. That's all about money, finances, being grounded, and standing in your footing. They said like your ability to say no is going to expand because your frequency is getting higher now and you're getting more confident. So the more confident that you get, you're going to see that it's not going to bother you whether they like you or not.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So you saying no is not going to affect you. Like it's because if you don't like me, and here's what I say to people. This is the best thing about when you do start saying no.
Right.
Here's the best part. When the people that are going to get mad at you do get mad at you, thank the universe because the garbage is literally taking itself out. I said no to you.
That. The garbage is taking itself out.
I said no to you because I can't do it. You know me well enough. Are we not friends? Are we acquaintances or whatever? And if I could, I would. But the problem, what a lot of us do is that even if we can't, we will. And then you're imbalancing your chakra. So when you say no, and so that's why I said, ask yourself, what is my intention? What do I want? Right? Then you're going to be given these opportunities.
Yes. It's so
here we are. What choice are you going to make? Right? Like, what are you going to do? And you have these choices. So when you say no, that person getting upset at you is letting you know that their thing is more important than your thing. They're not respecting you and your space and your choices because they're making it about them. They are revealing their ego. They are revealing their intention. Oh, okay, so you're mad at me.
You're not going to help me.
Because I can't do something.
Right.
I'm not. I can't do it. I got this thing going on. Oh, I can't believe you're not going to help me. Like, now I know that. Thank you for revealing yourself.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was so good at that. And then what was I creating? Absolutely nothing.
Yes.
There has to be an energy exchange. There has to be an energy exchange. I tell people, it's not, what are you doing for me? What am I doing? But if I'm doing something for you, at least have some gratitude because it gets to a point, especially when you're a giver, people don't have any gratitude.
Oh, no.
Right? You are starting to...
I already know that.
And you need to protect your space.
Right.
There was a good period where you would not see my hair down. It was in a bun all the time. I was unknowingly protecting my energy. A lot of my social media, when you saw me with that hat.
I have my bun in now.
Yes, exactly. I would wear hats because I was protecting my energy.
Right.
If you see me out with a hat on, you know that like, oh, she must be protecting her energy.
Yes.
Because I'm like, nope. So yeah, I mean, listen,
thank you for that. It's so funny. I know we could be your old. I closed my eyes, Kim, when we were all silent and you were thinking, and I felt that somebody came past me and put my shoulders down because I've been so tense in life. I feel like
your grandma's here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Were you close with your mom's mom?
I was close with my dad's mom.
Your dad's mom. Your mom's mom. The energy is.
She was tough.
Yeah.
She was tough. She's French. She always, she was tough on my mom.
Yeah. That's where a lot of that.
Yeah.
Your mom didn't have options. Well, that's resonating because think about it. Your mom she wasn't allowed to say yes.
Yeah. I know.
She wasn't given much opportunity to make choices.
Yes.
And then even in adulthood, all her choices had to be made for survival.
Exactly.
So you weren't shown, say yes to to the things you want, not to the things that you have to,
Right.
you know?
It's so true.
Yeah.
And, it's,
Yeah.
and I found out that, my mom's mom was a singer.
Yeah.
And she was on the radio, and we got to sing her. You and I should sing a song because I used to sing at family weddings.
We need to sing. I was a wedding singer too. I used to sing on dances on the floating stage. Oh my God! When I was 19, remember the floating stage? I used to sing there. Yes, I was at Monroeville Mall, and somebody's like, "Aren't you the girl that sings on the floating stage?" And I was like, "Yes." I'm a Leo rising, so I was like, "Yes."
I'm Aquarius, but
I need that.
Sing like you.
That's DNA. You know what I mean? Yeah, your dad's mom. That's interesting that she didn't show up. Because I think
my dad's mom is, and I think that's where I get it from. She's so giving and gives everybody, like she used to bring in like the mailman. Come, you mangia. She was Italian.
Yeah.
Came over, my dad came over when he was 8 on the boat when he was...
Oh, so like my dad, yeah. So your dad was
So my dad was an immigrant, so I'm first generation.
Yeah.
And my mother's family is like English and French and Irish.
Yeah.
But her mom was always tough, and she had Alzheimer's when I was in middle school, so I didn't know her as well.
She was on,
but I started hearing things about her, and I was like, oh my God, like she loved to sing. She was on the radio. She, she just a vibrant woman. But for me knowing her, I didn't see all that.
Yeah. And for me, like seeing her come through, it's because what people don't understand is that when you do the healing, you literally, those vibrations go back and forward. Do you know what I mean? Like you heal because you have broken the cycle of everything that was continuing.
Everything I was holding back.
And they're so grateful for that.
Right.
You have no idea how many of my ancestors are like, and I'm like, you're welcome.
They're your cheerleaders.
Because I'm doing the work.
Yes.
I'm the one that's ostracized. All my family, they all get together. My kids don't get invited to anything. They don't come even if I invite them to my children's birthdays. It's, and I've done nothing to some of these family members, but, I invite them to my kid's birthday. They're always busy, but yet it comes to other family members. They always make it. And they're so toxic. They lie, they cheat. The reason I'm in Pittsburgh is that a family member stole a lot of money from my mom.
Oh my God.
And that's how I ended up in Pittsburgh. Do you know what I mean? So I don't talk to them. And my mom's like, why are you angry? I'm like, I'm not angry. I just don't want to hang around people that are going to lie and cheat and steal and not say sorry.
Right.
So you don't have to say sorry. But I don't have to hang out with you either.
Right.
I don't have to be around people who are unremorseful about doing horrible things to other human beings.
Right. They're not in your energy. They're not in our space. And that's why it's like, I just feel like when I talk to you, Kim, and all the things that you're doing and how you're healing and helping other people heal, it's to me like, this is something that I'm passionate about. Yeah. And you may not be a believer, you may be someone who's skeptical, and that's fine.
And that's okay.
That's you. You be you, but this is who we are, and this is how I just, I always believe that everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And I do believe in signs.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, like we're looking at the clouds right now, and I see things in the clouds. Sometimes like I'll just see a face or an animal or some type of image. And I'm like,
oh, I see that. And then look up the animal.
Oh, I should do that.
Look it up. If you see a bunny in the clouds, I'm telling you guys, if you are driving and a gopher shoots across your way, if you are somewhere and you look up and you see deer, thank you for saying that because it's so crazy because I did want to talk about that. And that's not a coincidence. I tell people, don't be so closed off that you don't let the magic come in. And like I said, when that lady came to me, I was like, go to a grief counselor.
Yes.
A Reiki session for me is not going to loosen up this grip that this grief has on you.
Right.
Go and I am, and that's why I said, no, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can't. I'm just a messenger.
Right.
I'm just here. And so don't be closed off to the sides. When you're
I just feel like people will think I'm crazy if I say, like, Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
I feel like I can see Stitch up there.
Yeah, I see
Never
it.
made it come back again.
I see it.
But I don't know what kind of...
Well, look it up. Be like, why am I seeing Lilo? What does Lilo's energy embody?
Stitch? Which one is it?
Like, which one is it embodying?
It's like the alien kind of
the blue thing is Stitch, I believe.
Yeah,
Or
it's
is it
just
legal?
weird.
I don't know,
It's
but
just-
look it up. I'm going to look it up and
I
see, and I
know.
bet you I'll send it to you.
And do you
It'll
see like
resonate.
seeing that one cloud looks like there's a smile, like
Yeah.
there's like the blue right in the
Yeah.
cloud, like
Yeah.
they're smiling at us.
Yes.
It's
I
like,
don't listen. And you talk about this. Ask my kids. We do it all the time. I'm like, guys, what do you see? Every road trip.
Yes.
I'm like, guys, what do you see? And they're like, oh, I see a turtle. Like I
Yes.
teach them. I teach my kids. I
love
read
that.
clouds. Like,
so glad.
yeah, I joke and I say I'm a cloud reader. I'm a professional cloud reader. What did you see?
I'm going to tell her
Send me a photo.
podcast or in a
Cloud reader. No, literally. If you can see those images, that's a gift.
I just see, like,
Yes.
and I sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, why am I the only one out there? Is
And
there
we're
other
all
people seeing
intuitive.
things?
No, and we have to, and
It
that's the thing
fascinates
too.
me, the
This
sky
third eye.
and the weather. Yeah.
We all have that. Oh, that's the other thing I do really quickly because I know about the Akashic records. I read, that's your soul's library. I read those. I can tell you where you're from. Are you Arcturian? Are you Palladian? Like, where did your soul come from?
Yeah.
And what qualities do you embody? I'll also tell you your life path centers. We have 2. Why are you here? For order, for love, for,
Yes.
And then also Jung's archetypes. There's 12 archetypes from Jung's psychology or whatever. I use I use a specific pendulum just for that. It's a wooden one. I don't use crystals. And I ask all these questions. What karmic overlay? You have that overlay, do you know what I mean? Of fear and abandonment, right? And it's come from other lifetimes. These things that we go through, you absolutely have carried a karmic overlay from another life.
Yes. Oh my
So I've my
love
past
it.
lives. Yeah. So the Akashic records, reading that, letting you know when you understand who you are, why you're here, and you believe in the magic, I am telling you guys, you don't have to love that. You don't have to, all I'm saying is have an open mind and know that, I know because I'm also a medium and I do, work with crystals and pendulums. That will scare people right away for the Reiki. They'll be like, no, don't. But all I'm saying is, if you can believe that there's this God, that created all of this stuff, why can't you believe like in other magic? Like, and also just think about how expansive the world is and how many different religions there are. So that's what I'm saying. There's no right. There's no wrong. We're all
mixed.
We're all mixed.
Different.
You've literally been a man in another lifetime. You've been I've been a white man, a white woman, a black man, a black woman. This incarnation, I happen to be half Mexican and half Korean. Do you know what I mean? I am convinced that most of my lifetimes I've been a man.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. There's just so many things that, Kim and I can probably talk for so many, but I just enjoy you so much. And I believe that, yes, the universe needed Kim. We need her in our lives. I know I need her in my life because I feel like, with your energy and what you bring and the things you talk about, just talking about in this episode right here, open up your heart, open up your mind, just be free of all the toxins that are out there and all the trauma. But I'm just, I'm going to put all the information. If you want to get a hold of Kim, you want to go on her, any type of like her social medias or anything like that, because I know there's other people out there that probably believe in this and they want to open up and they want to find out what is stopping them from going.
And that's why I'm not scared to talk about all this stuff either,
No.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to gift you a Reiki session.
Ooh.
And then we can talk about that. Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah. I think it's, And I don't always like say, oh yeah, let's do Reiki. I really go where I'm guided, and they're like, yeah, do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. I love looking in her eyes because I'm thinking, what is she thinking?
Wait, listen, I was just talking about that today, how people, they also like misunderstand. I tell people, I know things on a need to know basis.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is she thinking?
Yeah, it's a need to know basis. I was like, trust me, I'm not reading your mind. I have people that will literally walk, like, there's this one dad at my kid's school, and every time I go near him, he walks away. And I'm like, sir, I don't give a hoops
who you are.
What you're thinking.
Right.
I don't care what your thoughts are right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I know things on a need to know basis. If I need to know, spirit will tell me. Yeah. But I'm not invading your private ethics. I have ethics.
Exactly.
I'll walk through places like Teresa Caputo and I'll hear her dad will come through and be like, I'm her dad. Can you please tell her to focus on her art? And I'm like, sir, I don't know that lady in Dick's. Absolutely not. And I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go up to some stranger and tell her that. I don't know. No, absolutely
You're
not.
the messenger, but sometimes the messages don't need to be told right now.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm not going to do that.
Oh my God, this was so much fun.
Yeah,
I so
thank you.
enjoyed
And
it.
thank you. Because like I said, you're the first podcast that talk about this stuff specifically. And I'm very grateful for
this.
this.
This is an aspect. This is like something about you that I feel like that, people should know about. And to me, you don't have to be in a certain kind of, we're all human. We're all, we are women who are trying to give our passion and try to tell people about what we do and why we do it and
show people what it's like to be authentic and not fake.
And be real.
And be real. Yes.
Thank you so much, honey. You are so adorable. I love you. So we're hugging right now.
Yes, we're hugging. Yes, we're hugging.
We're huggers. But thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Spill With Me, Jenny D.
Thank you.
Take care.
Come spill